It's hard to believe that Thanksgiving is just a few weeks away, but now is the time to start planning what your Thanksgiving table is going to look like. Today, I want to walk you through a really easy paper crafting project that you can use for table decorations. So this is what the pumpkins look like. They're paper pumpkins using scrapbook paper, a empty spool of thread that I've painted, and some ribbon. So let's get started. So these are the tools and supplies. I cut down the 12 by 12 a piece of two-sided scrapbook paper, and we will cut off a piece of seam binding ribbon and set that aside. And what I have here for us to work with are 14 pieces of paper that I cut down to 8 inches by 3/4 of an inch. 8 inches by 3/4 of an inch. There are 14 strips here, and I used a hole punch and punched a hole all the way through at both ends. And what we're going to do is take the seam binding ribbon and feed it through. And I have what we call a pokey tool, and I'm just going to slide that through the hole so that it's easier for the ribbon to be pushed through. And we'll get this started right at the top here, and I'll hold it into place with my thumb, and then I can grab that ribbon and push it right through. And I didn't hit all of the papers, but it is really easy to just finish that project, that step, the exact same way I just did. We just poke it through, and there we go. And then I want to pull this through and tie it in a knot. Not super tight. We don't want the ribbon to be so small that it slides right through the paper, so it doesn't have to be a really tight ribbon. And then what I want to do is repeat the process on this side. So make sure that that hole is all the way through, and I'll fold up my ribbon and get it started right in here, and I hold it in place with my thumb, and then we'll use that pokey tool to kind of force it through there. It might take a couple times, just like that. And now comes the magic of the whole process, is see how we're just taking that ribbon and pulling it? And this is what is giving us the shape of the paper to allow it to be separated to make that pumpkin. But what I want to do first is finish this off. So I am going to trim that again. I've got that spool of ribbon, wooden spool of ribbon or thread, and I'm going to feed the end right through. And again, that trusty pokey tool, which just makes things a little bit easier so you don't have to fight with it. And I'll tie a knot right at the top of this one. Kind of get it through there like that. And I kind of want the end of the ribbon to go up. So it's almost like a leaf coming out of the pumpkin. And then here's the fun part, is we're just going to take all the individual pieces and we're going to start separating them. And I can come through. I forgot to trim off that base. In fact, you want to really trim that base close because that's what it's going to sit on. And all we're doing is separating each one of those pieces and forming it into the shape of a pumpkin. Also easy to store from year to year because you can just collapse it when you're done. And then look at that, nice and easy, not too many steps. We've got the base of the paper pumpkin. We've added the green spool painted with acrylic paint just to give the effect of the stem. And the two-sided paper is really cool because you can see right through it, and you've got that decorative paper on both sides. So nothing complicated with doing this. On this one, I only used 8-inch strips, so you can see that this one is a little bit smaller. And another thing you can do is just take some scrapbook cardstock, something you can write on, and then you can do name tags, and you can set them down on the table with a name tag on top or with it sitting right in front of it. Happy Thanksgiving.